You're in between worlds right now. You're in the Bardo. This is traditionally known as the in-between. This was the first card that came out. My heart space all day has been feeling... How do I explain this? It's been feeling tight, activated, burning. Not in like a actual like my heart hurts kind of way. It does not feel like medical. Okay, let me just get that straight. This isn't like a physical thing. This is spiritual. My heart's been burning today. Not heartburn. No. Like burning energetically, even right now. And it's wanting to shoot up here, which you could sometimes say is like indigestion, right? It's not. I know the difference. I'm a tarot reader. Trust me. This could be because of the Cancer Mercury retrograde that just ended. That probably activated your heart space, made you think about a lot of stuff from your past that hurt you emotionally. And I pulled this, it came up right. Then this one came upside down, which is Pilgrim. And what this gave me was you have felt like an outcast your entire life. I don't know why I got that from the Pilgrim upside down, but it gave me this vibe of you've been an outcast your entire life. Maybe you've been in foster care. Maybe you've moved around a lot of homes. It's like you've been made to be a pilgrim, not because you want to be, but because you've had to be. And I feel like you have been traveling for so long and trying to find yourself for so long that you've kind of gotten stuck in a bardo. And I feel like especially this Mercury retrograde that just happened, you visited some things from the past. I'm seeing like a black void and then two doors far apart from each other. You had already passed through that door to go into this Bardo space. I feel like because of this Mercury retrograde, you ended up going backwards back into that door for a whole minute to reevaluate, and it really helped. And it's healing some stuff in your heart, because I'm not getting like a bad thing for this. This also, when I was feeling this, when I was making my coffee, which I represent my coffee as like resilience, because if you guys don't know, pre-ground coffee 99% has cockroach pieces in it, bug pieces in it, because the FDA or whatever controls ground coffee. They don't really care about that microscopic amount of bugs that are in the grounds. So it's like, I'm already addicted to caffeine. After I learned that, I was like, oh, cockroaches represent resiliency. You can chop a cockroach's head off, and it runs for days. They can survive a lot of things. They have very thick shells. This could be something that has to do with you. Maybe in you going backwards, like maybe you could have even relapsed. Trigger warning. Probably should have put trigger warning before. Trigger warning. If you actually are going through this and it's still very fresh on your mind, please click off of this video. I wish you the best. You're doing amazing. Please don't let this trigger you, okay? I'm just putting that there. I'll give you a moment. You could have relapsed on something, whether that be substance, whether it be a train of thought that you've been trying to escape. It could just be a behavior pattern that you've been trying to escape. I'm kind of seeing someone who's known for having like anger issues kind of like freak out on somebody and have like an anger outburst, so you feel like you've relapsed and you feel like, oh my god, like I was doing so good, and then this happened. And I feel like with this heart burning thing that I'm feeling, it feels like a yearning. It feels like someone or something or you or whatever yearning for something. So I feel like whatever relapse you had, you don't have to go through it without learning something from it. You can always take knowledge from everything that you go through. I'm gonna pull out my Unicorn Oracle. This is my little cousin's favorite oracle because it's extremely like kid friendly. I like to be very hush hush about these things with children. spiritual, occult type things, but this deck is one of those that I feel really comfortable showing to children because it's unicorns. Bottom of the deck is innocence. Take time to play, nurture your inner child, live with a childlike sense of wonder. Oh, okay, I'm getting chills. All this could have been right, but this is what I'm getting now. You went back in the past to confront something else and you met your inner child. That's why your heart is burning. It's on fire. It's purifying. Whatever relapse you had was necessary to the greater scheme of things. And I'm not, like, if this was some kind of substance relapse and it's got you back into it, please, this is not your message, okay? This is someone who had a relapse of some kind. It does not have to be substance, okay? Let me, like, make that clear. It could have just been anger. It could have been what the frick ever. It could have been you just, like, spending money on a video game. Like, you relapsed on something that you wanted to stop doing. Or you relapsed in thinking about something from the past. Something. You did something from the past that you usually don't do. And I'm seeing you going back in your head in time to revisit some stuff, to either re-remember something that happened with your parents, re-remember something that happened with, like, a toxic ex, re-remember something that happened from a teacher, trying to re-remember something to get clarity on someone else. And when you did that, expansion, patience, interesting. When you did that, you healed something else. You found your inner child. You realized the whole time it wasn't about the people that you were trying to reconcile with, or that you were trying to, for me at least in this retrograde, and you are my collective, so this might resonate with you. That's why I'm bringing it up, obviously. I was going back and revisiting some stuff with exes and friends. Those were, like, the main things that I was going back to in my brain during this retrograde. And how I have a tendency to only remember the good things. And so I was going back to try to remember why we weren't friends anymore, why we weren't together anymore, because I was getting a little amorous about the good things. You might have done that. And when you went back to whatever, what's the word? To reestablish what really happened, you saw yourself in the past. And you saw the innocence. You saw the innocence in that past self of yours, your childlike self. It might not have even been when you were technically a child, but it was from a place where you still had innocence around a subject. And I feel like for a while you used to think, like, I'm such a bad person, I'm such a bad daughter, I'm such a bad son, I'm such a bad family member, I'm such a bad partner, I'm such a bad friend. But I feel like you went back and you realized your past memories were being skewed by other people's recollections who were trying to escape confrontation and accountability. And I feel like when you did this and you saw your childhood self, you realized it was much worse than you thought. It was much worse than you thought. Something that happened was much worse than you thought. And perhaps in this relapse, whatever this is, retrograde, going back to something, it healed you from ever relapsing on this thing again. Whether it be substance, whether it be a memory, whether it be whatever, you could have had a lot of PTSD surrounding a subject. You could have felt like you were the angry daughter. That's kind of what I'm getting from this. Very like Fiona Gallagher. I get Fiona Gallagher a lot in my readings, but it's because I'm a Mula ascendant and she's a Mula moon. And I just really get on well with Mula natives, and I don't know. They come up in my readings a lot. So you might be Mula. Vedic astrology, nakshatras. If you're Mula, that would mean you, in traditional astrology, would be super late degree Sag or early degree Cap. Okay? Look it up though. Nakshatras. Mula, M-U-L-A. It's also represented by the roots. I'm going to go to part 2.